Does God want us to be grateful? Does God need our gratitude? I guess it depends on what God we're talking about. If it's the anthropomorphic, maybe old-time religion God, maybe. I don't know the mind of God. But the God of unity and the God of my childhood is more the God of love. I was raised among grateful folks in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was the land of red. But my particular buckle was blue. It was a very progressive community that introduced me early to gratitude. And Emerson. I felt like I was in the sea of my neighbors who were Southern Baptists, but I shared gratitude with them. I was a grateful girl. I had a lot to be grateful for. This particular community supported me, Unitarian Universalist in Tulsa, Oklahoma, very tough to be. Because of that community, I am the person I am today. I was able to keep some things that I came in with, that certainty that the world is a friendly place. That community matters, and this community matters. We are stronger together as the news requires us to be. Though the old-time religion believes in a God of gratitude, I believe in a God of love. I believe with John and with this church that this is John 4:16. Got to have some Bible in here. God is love. Whoever abides in love abides in God, and God in her. I may have changed that last pronoun. It is the privilege of the pulpit. But let me rephrase, does love want our gratitude? Does love want us to be grateful? The God of love does not do transactions. Love is the heart of it all. Here's Emerson on gratitude. Cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you. Sound familiar? Give thanks continuously, because all things have contributed to your advancement. You should include all things in your gratitude. Jesus set us on a path of gratitude for all things, being grateful for the seemingly bad and the good, and all the unconditional variations in between. But Jesus did have a habit of hanging out with the lowlife. Dirty, low-down tax collectors, Samaritans, and women. But there are no conditions and no transactions when God is love. So being grateful is for us, not for God. Gratitude is our very human superpower for 4 major reasons that come to mind. First, gratitude is a superpower of mindfulness and integration. In fact, it's a freeway. Gratitude is an instant reprieve from anxiety and worry, because gratitude turns what we have into enough. It's a tool of inner harmony. In my sound meditations, it is one of the 3 tools that we use, along with breath and sound, to quickly drop down to a place of heartful mindfulness, where the heart is the boss of us. Our heart informs our head and guides the mind into intuitive discernment. The way forward is not always clear. Not just heart, it's head too. Gratitude is not meant to encourage complacency. We can simultaneously be grateful for what is and aspire for different and more. New thought refers to our aspirations and desires as guidance. Here's Einstein, one of my favorite gurus. about trusting the intuitive mind to discern the right path. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift. The rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant, but has forgotten the gift. It is the mind and the heart working together, and that's what gratitude does. It opens us up to a more heartful state of being. Head and heart are in harmony. The Buddhists might call it mindfulness, where the head and its monkey mind state quiets. Heart math, a bunch of scientists, would call it coherence, where the head and the heart and the gut are all aligned in the quantum field. Or you might simply call it alignment. In the newest Unity magazine, Reverend Bronte Colbert says this: alignment is about remembering and acknowledging our constant connection with the divine. Our highest self, our innermost being, it's holding the consciousness of walking in this world as a part of a spiritual adventure. It's an adventure. Gratitude helps us see it as an adventure. But the second thing that gratitude is the superpower of happy. And here we are with the neuroscientists. They study these things. Gratitude makes you happy. You don't even need to find anything to be grateful for. The search is everything. Because when you search for something to be grateful for, your brain chemistry changes. It is equivalent to the beneficial effects of Wellbutrin or Prozac for increasing dopamine and serotonin. So we have the power. Gratitude is a power, a very human superpower. Gratitude makes you happy, reduces anxiety, enhances the feelings of well-being. But gratitude is not just about being happy no matter what. It's about helping us see deeper into any situation while creating a more delight-filled world and seeing opportunities, which brings us to the third thing about gratitude. Gratitude is a superpower of lucky. And here we are with more scientists. We have social scientists this time. They actually study the lucky people and unlucky people. They gathered a group of both of them, people who have considered themselves very lucky. They've won multiple lotteries. They find opportunities easily. These people that self-identify as being lucky. And then other people who self-identify as being very unlucky. Nothing to be grateful for, no appreciable gifts from the universe that they could remember. So they studied these two groups, and they made an experiment. The experiment was a job interview in a cafe. And each group, each individual had to walk by this particular sidewalk. And at different points on the sidewalk, they put video cameras to observe them. And they also put, Ken will love this, $100 bills on the sidewalk. Can you imagine what happens next? Yes, the people who were unlucky were so narrowly focused on the job interview. They had so much anxiety about getting there, being on time, and having it go right, that they didn't see the opportunities in front of them. But the lucky people, they had some confidence. They were open, and they were maybe even having fun, because life is good, right? The feeling of happy allows us to see opportunities. It makes us see outside the box. It gives us breathing room. It offers up a bit of grace where we don't have to be anxious for the future. And finally, gratitude is, am I going the wrong way? Gratitude is a superpower for change. How can we be grateful for change when it's not to our choosing? When we might lose something that we've loved. When we lose an identity, a loss of a job, of a loved one, or just adapting to a world in a pandemic. We can look at change as disaster or through gratitude's mindfulness, a greater perspective, and a willingness to see it differently. Change clears space for the right door to open, but it is not easy between doors. With gratitude, we can look at change like an ecology of a life. A forest ranger in Yellowstone was talking in the most recent issue of Christian Science Monitor about fires and change and destruction. He was noticing how this particular tree, lodgepole pine, had renewed itself, had reforested Yellowstone. But after the 1988 park fire, the whole forest was devastated. And he says that destruction is just another part of the natural ecosystem, like running water, just like wind, just like rain. The lodgepole pines were devastated, but now they have reforested Yellowstone. They depend on fire to regenerate. Seeds will only open when the temperature gets to that of fire. In my own life, and in many of the bereaved I serve in hospice, I see renewal every day in what initially looked like utter disaster. There is a rich opportunity in seeing, in the seeming wasteland of change and loss, just like the lodgepole pines of Yellowstone. It breaks our deeply buried seeds open, grow new stories of our own making, ones that fit who we are now. Loss cleans away obstacles in our path. Gratitude allows us to see opportunities and bet on the joyous wager of goodness to come. And finally, gratitude is a superpower that turns what you have into enough. It is a very human superpower. And what good is a superpower if you don't use it? Gratitude relieves our anxiety and helps us, give us perspective, makes us happy, makes us lucky, or just better aware of the opportunities in front of us. It changes us on the inside and allows us to accept what is, and then change the story to one that is more joyful for us right now. Gratitude is a superpower of discernment. So to answer the initial question, does God or love want us to be grateful? I don't know the mind of God. But I know that grateful turns what we have into enough, and that is a beautiful thing. Gratitude helps me walk in the world, being who I came here to be in all the seasons of my life. All of it is part of this spiritual adventure.